Avtar Singh, independent.
Right, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm not too good at these things. All of my life, we have been told that we live in a democracy. Now, for the first time in history, that it looks as though the monopoly or the duopoly of the big two may be broken, they're finally admitting the truth. That actually, only the leader of the Labour Party or the leader of the Conservative Party can become Prime Minister. Effectively, we live in a two-party state. And what's the difference between a two-party state and a one-party state with two factions who take turns in power? They fight like two ferrets in a sack on camera, on TV and the Commons, but ultimately they agree on the most important principle is that they take turns in power and they decide what to do. We need real change. We need an end to party politics. We need the people to be able to decide what policies we want. Now, Adrian has admitted he doesn't even agree with all of the policies of the party he's standing for. But that's the system we have at the moment, is that you have to choose a basket of policies from one of the two main parties, even though you may not agree with many of those policies, even though you may only agree with one of those policies. That's not democracy. That's not even close to democracy. We need the people to decide policies, and that's why I want to become mayor. I want to make an example here in Leicester of how politics should be run. People should be able to decide the policies. People should be able to vote on the policies. In Estonia, they have electronic remote voting, allowing them to vote on policies. Once a year, the budget and the Queen's speech are put to the House of Commons. Why can't the Queen's speech and the budget be put to a referendum once a year? I want Leicester to show the world how democracy can be run. I want to set up an e-voting system here so that every policy is decided by the people themselves. And if you want to spend £4 million on a glorified garden, call it Jubilee Square, that's fine by me as long as you have voted for that. And if you want to knock down a flyover, that's fine by me as long as you voted for that. And if you want to sell off buildings for £1 each, that's fine by me as long as you have voted for that. If you want to increase taxation, to increase spending, that's fine by me as long as you have voted for that. And if you decide, no, we want to cut taxes and therefore cut spending, that should be your choice. No one man should be dictator for 4 years or 5 years if he's a Prime Minister, 4 years for Mayor. So I want you to decide how the city is run. I want the people of Leicester to decide how the city is run. And we collectively can have much more solutions to our problems than any one man can. Now, I've got plenty of ideas. Some of them may be far-fetched. Some of the people who may even say they're crazy. But I would ask you, I would consult you. I wouldn't just impose them on people. And you may have good ideas for me. You may say, well, we can improve the transport system. You may find better ways to run the health service or the social care. Those ideas should be able to be brought forward so that we can all discuss those ideas and then implement those we think are good. And one of the most important things I have learned working in the public sector is how afraid frontline workers are of speaking up. Now, we've seen in children's services that we had a problem way back in October, but nothing was done about it. Why did no one go to Peter Soulsby, who's the mayor, and say, there's a catastrophe happening in children's services right now? Because the public sector organisations have a built-in antipathy towards whistleblowing. People do not grasp, people do not go above their manager. They're afraid to go above their manager. I know that from hard experience because when I went above my manager in the NHS, I was sacked for it. And what did my managers tell the rest of the staff? They told the rest of the staff, you pipe up, we'll do an Avtar on you. That's what happens in the public sector. We need a proper whistleblowing structure so that people are not afraid to come forward. I mean, that means whistleblowing must be made compulsory so that those who do not whistleblow get disciplined, not those who do whistleblow. And there must be an independent organisation you can whistleblow to, not the management structure, because no one ever dares go up the management structure. So that is why I want to stand for mayor. I want to make Leicester an example of how democracy can be run and how politics could be run. Thank you.
Thank you, Avtar.